you know on Trace yet?
Trace will not play.
Just, is it
Knee
minor?
soreness.
Knee
Yeah.
soreness. Okay.
Hopefully tomorrow, but we'll see.
How do you expect that to impact the center rotation?
Looney will play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you make of the league's partnership with legal sports books and just how the effect that's had so far?
I'll let the NBA answer those questions. Yeah, that's not my business.
Obviously, you faced the Heat once before earlier in the season, and obviously they have a lot of guys out tonight. What's sort of like, just sort of the mindset of going into this game? Because obviously Jimmy's out, Kevin's out, but they're still, Spo knows how to use a lot of guys.
Yeah, we're not falling for that trick. We've fallen for that trick many times in the past, and it's always a bad thing to me when the other team is missing some of its best players. I would guess that most coaches around the league agree. It's an automatic red flag, for our team. Don't let your guard down. But no matter how many times you say it, it just feels like in this league you got so many talented players who can't wait to get their chance. They get out there on the floor. They play with amazing energy. We all know Spo's a great coach. That Miami has a culture of competitive desire, so we're not falling for that. We know what we're in for tonight.
You've spoken in the past about the league, with all of the offense and basically the pressure that the defensive players have. In an ideal world, in a Steve Kerr ideal world, even going back to your playing days, where's the happy medium between what used to be 80s or 90s basketball as opposed to these games that we see regularly with 140, 150 points a game?
Are you talking from a couple months ago or from what I've seen the last couple months?
The last couple of years, the way it's been going more towards the offensive side, and it seems like defensive players just are always getting, just
Right.
called
right.
on for that.
It has changed, though, subtly or not so subtly over the last month or so. And so I think the league is trying to find the happy medium. And to me, I think it's there is a happy medium to be found. The players have never been more skilled shooting the ball, dribbling the ball. Incredible amount of talent in the league. We want that talent to shine. We want to see, our fans want to see players make great plays. So we should have rules that dictate freedom of movement, freedom of flow. But our fans also like competition, and we should have rules that don't allow, frankly. So that's the happy medium. Just don't call the bullshit. Because frankly, we have called for like 10 years, and I've talked about it, enough this year, but you asked, so I got my pulpit back. So, it's anyone who watches the game knows, if you see a guy come off a high screen and jump backwards into the defender and we give a guy for 3 free throws, that's on us. That's stupid. You wouldn't call that in a pickup game. It'd be embarrassing to call that in a pickup game, If a guy on defense puts up his arm bar and the offensive guy grabs it and hooks it and flails his arms, just don't call it. It's stupid. Again, you wouldn't call it in a pickup game. So I think the happy medium is get rid of it, but call the stuff that's a foul. We had a game the other night against Indiana. It was like Rick Carlisle after the game said to me, "It's like the 90s." Sorry, Rick, if I got you in trouble, but and it was. There were guys getting hacked left and right, and it was like no calls. And it's like, no. This isn't what we're looking for either. We're looking for eliminate all the gamesmanship and the manipulation of the rules. But if there's a foul, you got to call a foul. So I think the league will always be searching for the best version of our game, and we're all in the same boat, and we all want the best product. It's good for all of us. So hopefully we can keep working towards finding that.
Draymond said the other night he thought he just said you're a really quiet team defensively. It's something you talked about earlier this year. How big a problem is that right now?
Yeah, we're very quiet across the board. We don't have a lot of guys who are, loud defensively. Draymond is, obviously. Looney is, and we've missed that. So it'll be good to have Loon back out there. Loon is the quietest person away from the game, but he's one of our best talkers. And you could see, the fourth quarter, we had a couple missed switches where they ran a nice action. And one play, I think Edwards got free for the dunk. They ran the same action, Edwards made a three, and the next one, Gobert got a dunk. And it was just a missed switch. And if you're quiet, switching is a lot harder. And so we definitely need to be louder.
How correctable is that quality in, younger players, more, Wiggins seems to be a quiet individual in general. Yeah. Just how correctable is that?
It's correctable with some guy. Loon didn't say anything for 2 years, and then his third year he started really talking. So I'm hopeful that our younger guys, Trace, J.K., eventually can get there. They're both very quiet, away from the court. So some guys can adapt and get there, like Loon. Others don't. So you just keep working.
After the Timberwolves game, and Edwards said that they knew the exact play that you guys were running, the side out of bounds flare to Clay.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, what's your reaction to that, and how do you adjust going forward?
Well, we ran it. I think we've run the play one time this year. We ran it late in the Laker game about 6 weeks ago, and got a three. And so I am someone who kind of thinks that, if a play works, you can go to it, but you don't want to run it every time or the team's going to know. But there's great scouting these days, and so every team we have 12 assistant coaches. We know what other teams like to run at the end of games too. So generally you go into a game and there's 4 or 5 things that a team might run, at the end of the game, and it's part of it. There's we all kind of know what each other likes to do, and we get ready for it. So they did a good job preparing for it, and that play has other options, and so there's always, when you design stuff, you're always looking at 2 or 3 different things that you can get out of it. But didn't get a great look, but Clay got a decent look.
I have a very hard-hitting, not at all leading question. Who is most improved player, and why is it Jonathan Kuminga?
Who is the most improved player in the NBA?
League, yeah. And why is it Kuminga?
And why?
And why is it Kuminga?
Why is it Kuminga? I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at everybody else's candidates for most improved. So, but I just think J.K. has really taken a leap this year with his confidence, with his awareness of what's happening. He's obviously got a ton of talent, explosive athleticism, and he's learning how to use it, and he's impacting winning, and he's had a great leap this year. So if I get a vote, I'll vote for him.
Is it one specific thing with him, or is it just?
No, I think it's more general, more just confidence, overall. He actually shot it better last year, but he's a much better player this year because he's recognizing when and how to attack. And I think the one area where he's improved dramatically is recognizing when Steph and Clay are open. And the first couple of years, it was, he wasn't seeing that. So he'd catch it, and, you just want the quick swing, 0.5 basketball, and he's doing that often this year. And that's a huge jump. It may not seem like much, but it really connects the game for us, and it's a massive part of playing for our team. Know where those guys are and get it to them quickly.
And you've had a chance to be around Bam with Team USA. Just what do you think makes him unique as a person and a leader?
Bam is, he's a great player, number one. I mean, he's, you're always looking for elite two-way basketball players if you want to win at a high level. So that's what we look for at Team USA, obviously, and all the NBA teams look for that. Bam was amazing in the Olympics in Tokyo. At both ends of the floor. Elite switch 1 through 5 guy, but also great as a push man in transition. It's very unique to have a center who can push in transition, and we had Draymond and Bam doing that, and it was really effective at the international level. So, he's a great player. But it was fun to get to know him. He's quiet, but very mature, very professional, very kind person who you enjoy being around, and you see his character, you see the quality of the human being just being around him every day.
Hey, Steve, just kind of a random question. The answer could be no, but you've coached a couple of guys from Wisconsin, Tyler Heroes from the area. I'm just curious if you see any similarities in their games.
Who? I'm sorry.
You've coached a couple of guys from Wisconsin and then Tyler Heroes from that area.
Wisconsin.
Too. Yeah. Is there any similarities in their games at all? Like I said, the answer might be no, but just curious.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I'd have to think about Wisconsin, and why would I want to do that? I mean, I'm sorry.
Wow. Got that on the video.
Great cheese, great cheese. Beer, great beer. Beyond that, I like the Brewers. Brewers are a nice team.
Micah a genius, dog. We called timeout. Micah, they didn't even go to the coaches huddle. Micah came to our huddle and was like, "This is what they're gonna run. Be ready for this." And they came out and ran the exact play. Micah's a genius.
They're in the battle just like, so many of the teams are, and this is what the league has wanted. I think it's great for the league. I think it's great for competition. There's a lot more parity, so it's bringing out a lot of different emotions, league-wide. You can't hide. These things get decided, between the 4 lines, and reputations don't matter. Age of teams, what teams have done, the previous year, none of that matters. It's just where you are right now, and how you're, managing, these games and trying to find wins. But Golden State is a dangerous team. I mean, they're explosive offensively still, and they present different challenges than you typically see because of all the movement. And Curry just gets everybody to overreact. And Green is, a brilliant basketball mind.